What up, schmucks? It's Ace Trainer Liam, and welcome to another episode of MetroMania. For those who aren't aware, MetroMania is an ongoing metronome-only battle tournament to determine the MetroMania Champion. And this season, it's all about legendary Pokemon. If you're already a fan of MetroMania, make sure you hit the like button, show that you're enjoying the series and that you're ready for more action. If you're new, make sure you hit subscribe so that you never miss an episode. Now, this week is the last of our quarterfinals, but before we get into the battles, of course, let's take a look at the all-important brackets. As you can see from last week, Regigigas couldn't get it together in its battles against Reshiram. Reshiram wiped the floor with Regigigas, and Regigigas unfortunately has to say goodbye, much like Kyogre, its opponent the week before, and Reshiram moves on to our semi-finals. We don't know who Reshiram's going to face yet, but if Reshiram can best its opponent, who is the winner of tonight's battle, it will go on to face either Dialga or Zekrom in the final. But before we get there, we need to find out who that opponent in the semis will be. Will it be Solgaleo or will it be Palkia? That is what we're here today to find out, so let's get into the action. And here we go, Solgaleo versus Palkia, quarterfinal 4. The final place in our semi-finals is the prize for winning this best of 3 battles in MetroMania. We see Palkia's pressure taking its effect, bringing that pressure onto the battlefield with 2 Palkia. Not a great thing to be faced with, but Solgaleo has proven it's a pretty tough opponent. Here's a Dragon Breath from Palkia to start off with, onto regular Solgaleo. Of course, Steel, the only type that resists Dragon-type moves, apart from if you count Fairy, which is completely immune, but I wouldn't count immunity as a resistance, TBH. I'd count it as an immunity, alright? Dream Eater from the shiny Palkia, not affecting anyone because nobody's asleep. Here's a Sacred Sword, though, from Solgaleo, doing a decent chunk of damage to that shiny Palkia. And here comes Big Red, shiny Solgaleo, going for Entrainment, which is a very strange play. I mean, it's going to remove the pressure, which makes it easier for the Solgaleo team, but does give full metal body to that shiny Palkia, which means that shiny Palkia now doesn't have to worry about stat changes, only obviously stat changes in its favor. Here's a Growl, though. Of course it fails because full metal body from both Solgaleo make them immune to those stat changes. Regular Palkia goes for Toxic Thread, but of course full metal body means no stat changes, and of course the steel typing of Solgaleo means no poison. Here's Big Red going for Giga Impact, starting off strong. What a massive hit, showing that huge strength there. Oh my goodness. Will have to recharge the next turn. The paralyzed regular Solgaleo doesn't get to move, unfortunately. And here comes shiny Palkia with the follow-up. This will be a free turn, possibly. Thunderfang onto that shiny Solgaleo. Critical hit. Doesn't get the paralysis this time. My goodness. Here comes regular Palkia. What's it going to go for? Goes for Stun Spore. Stop using Stun Spore, says Feint Attacks. Thank you, Feint Attacks, for joining us. Here's regular Solgaleo with Frustration. That's going to do great damage and knocks out shiny Palkia already. We're down to 1 Palkia versus 2 Solgaleo. What a great start for the Solgaleo team, even with that paralysis on their side. Here comes Palkia, the only Palkia left, with an Aura Sphere. That's going to be neutral, but not a great deal of damage there, unfortunately. It does a decent amount, but only a little bit of chip damage. It's not got enough base power. 2 Big Red. Here comes Big Red with a Pollen Puff. That's going to do some neutral damage on that Palkia, taking its first bit of damage in this battle. Here comes regular Solgaleo. What's it got in mind? Gonna go for Magical Leaf. That will be neutral due to the Dragon and Water typing, but just a bit of chip damage. Although chip damage from both Solgaleo adds up to pretty decent damage altogether on that Palkia. Stored Power coming out from Palkia, not going to do a great deal of damage to a Steel and Psychic type. Wow, that was very, very minimal. Not very effective is an understatement. Here comes shiny Solgaleo, aka Big Red. Here we go. Fiery Dance. That is going to be quad resisted by Palkia. That's a lucky break for Palkia there. There's the Fiery Dance. Not very effective. Here comes regular Solgaleo. What's it going to follow up with? I don't really want to call him Big White. That seems awkward. Here's a Horn Attack, though, for a little bit of chip damage there to Palkia. What's Palkia going to do to follow up? It needs to pull something out of the bag here while it's on its own. Goes for Defense Curl. I mean, I like your optimism, dude. You know what? Defense Curl. That'll do it. That's really going to help you out. I mean, +1 defense, you can't really scoff at that. Here comes shiny Solgaleo with Synthesis. Going to restore 50% of its HP, which I believe should put it back up to, yep, full HP for Big Red. Oh my goodness. Here's regular Solgaleo. What's it going to go for? It's going to go for Thunder. That is going to be neutral, and it's going to be very powerful because, I mean, it's Thunder. Come on. It did a great deal of damage there. Palkia is now in the red. Really needs to hope for a Fissure or a Sheer Cold or a Horn Drill, something like a one-hit KO. Goes for Frenzy Plant, which is going to be resisted, and it means that the Palkia has to recharge next turn. That's not good for Palkia. This may be round 1 Solgaleo, but I don't want to call it just yet. Here's an Ice Punch. That'll be neutral, and it takes down Palkia with a critical hit, no less. I mean, I guess I didn't speak too soon. Here comes round 2. Solgaleo is 1 up. Palkia's back is to the wall, and it must be really uncomfortable having your back to the wall when you have a big tail like that. I imagine that's not a good feeling, but I digress. Here comes the pressure from Palkia, getting ready to try and reduce the amount of PP that these Solgaleo can use. Solgaleo, of course, have the advantage of full metal body, which means their stats can't be lowered, and that's scary because their stats are impressive. Here's an Acid Spray, which doesn't affect, Solgaleo or its partner Solgaleo because of the poison versus steel dynamic. Here's Cosmic Power. Now, that's a great move by regular Palkia. Going to increase the defense and special defense stats. If you can hear little tapping noises, that's my very irritating dog walking around this room. Thank you very much for ruining this recording. Here comes a skill swap from Solgaleo. Wants to swap over so that pressure will affect the Palkia team, and the full metal body it's willing to sacrifice, so its stats can be lowered now, but also the stats of regular Palkia cannot be lowered. But there's the pressure. That's an interesting play by regular Solgaleo. Here comes Big Red. Shiny Solgaleo with a rolling kick that misses, unfortunately, so not a good start for the Big Red Solgaleo. Here's regular Palkia. What's it going to do? What did it learn from the previous battle? Apparently it learned to use Weather Ball, which I wouldn't have gone with, but sure. Here's the Weather Ball for a little tiny bit of chip damage, adorable damage to regular Solgaleo. Here comes the shiny Palkia, Palkia's counterpart, going for Aromatic Mist. Of course, I don't believe that's going to do anything. Oh, it is! It's going to raise the special defense of that regular Palkia. My sincere apologies. Well, up goes the special defense. Here's a Mega Drain that will be neutral on the Water and Dragon shiny Palkia, and that little bit of HP just creeping Solgaleo's hit points back up. Here's shiny Solgaleo. What will it follow up with? It's going to go for Assurance. Onto which Palkia? Onto the shiny Palkia there. Oh my goodness, what a great hit by that Assurance as well. Oh my goodness. Here comes regular Palkia. What's it going to do? Something? Egg Bomb? I mean, sure, it's not going to be very effective, but any damage is better than no damage, I guess. That's how we've always kind of thought in Metromania. I almost said Form Fight. Here comes Trump Card from shiny Palkia onto regular Solgaleo. Again, a tiny little bit of damage. Palkia just can't seem to get out of the gate right now. Here comes regular Solgaleo with Fire Spin. Of course, that's going to be quad resisted, but it is going to do Fire Spin damage at the end of each turn, which is dangerous for that shiny Palkia. So they really need to start bringing out some big offensive moves if they want to take down these Solgaleo. Here comes Waterfall, which is going to be quad resisted as well, but there is the possibility... Oh no, there's no possibility of flinch. It's the end of the turn. Never mind. There's the Fire Spin damage, signifying the end of the turn as well. Here's which Palkia is going first. It's regular Palkia starting off this next turn, and it's going to go for Roost, but its HP is full, so that was not a great play. Here comes shiny Palkia. Can that get some HP restorative power? No, it's going to go for Twin Needle, though, which will be neutral on Big Red. It's not going to poison it, though, but there's the 2 hits from the Twin Needle there. Here comes shiny Solgaleo firing back with Screech, gonna lower the defense sharply, so 2 stages of defense drop there on that shiny Palkia. That is dangerous, especially when you're faced with a Pokemon like Solgaleo. Here's regular Solgaleo going for Hydro Pump. Of course, that is quad resisted by shiny Palkia, so luckily that wasn't a physical attack, because that could have been the end of shiny Palkia, who takes the Fire Spin damage and goes into the red. This is very reminiscent of the previous battle. Solgaleo with lots of HP, shiny Solgaleo with lots of HP, regular... Oh, Bone Club coming out, though, from regular Palkia, who has full HP, and its partner Pokemon, shiny Palkia, having next to no HP and very close to being knocked out. It's almost like the same battle. Here's an Iron Deluge. Well done. Thank you very much for that one, shiny Palkia. That's going to be the game changer, right? Here's Big Red. What's Big Red got in store? Gonna go for Shadow Sneak onto that shiny Palkia with the defense drop, and down goes shiny Palkia. This is so reminiscent of the previous battle. Solgaleo really knows what to do, although it has flinched, unfortunately, so regular Solgaleo doesn't get to do anything that round. But here's a gear up, but it fails from Palkia. That's not good for Palkia. Here's shiny Solgaleo. What's it going to go for? Going to go for Dragon Hammer. Oh, that's going to be super effective. That's going to be a great hit. Fantastic damage there. Oh, well, more than a third of Palkia's HP. My goodness. Here comes regular Solgaleo with a refresh, but that's completely pointless. Good job. Well done, mate. No status conditions. You don't need to refresh. And here comes Palkia. What's it going to do? Needs to take out one of these Solgaleo. Goes for Iron Tail. It's avoided. How unfortunate. Here comes regular Solgaleo. What are you going to do, my dude? Going to go for Power Gem for some nice neutral damage. Only a little bit of chip damage, though, because Solgaleo is much more physical than special, I believe. Here's Big Red going for Night Days. Here it comes. And that does a little bit more chip damage, but again, as we said in the previous round, 2 Pokemon doing chip damage on 1 Pokemon equates to decent damage. Here's a Sand Attack, but of course, Full Metal Body from Shiny Solgaleo prevents its stats from being dropped. Should have gone for the Solgaleo that had swapped to Pressure, and Shiny Solgaleo fires back with a Skill Swap, so it's going to take the Full Metal Body from Palkia, swap it for Full Metal Body from itself, give Palkia Full Metal Body, and take Full Metal... Oh, my goodness. What a great play. What a fantastic tease of a play there. Here's Telekinesis. Palkia is going to be thrown up into the air by regular Solgaleo for the next foreseeable few turns. And here comes Palkia. What's it going to do in response? It needs a miracle right now. Goes for Memento and throws the battle, bowing out, saying, Solgaleo, you are the superior Pokemon. The stats don't even get dropped as Palkia faints of its own accord, and Palkia has handed Solgaleo the semi-finals. Solgaleo has won quarterfinal 4 and will go on to face Reshiram in the semi-finals. Well, unfortunately for Palkia, it just couldn't stand up to Solgaleo. Solgaleo had a little bit of trouble with Groudon in the heats, but in the quarterfinals against Palkia, it really turned the dial up to 11 and really went hammer on Palkia. So unfortunately for Palkia, it does leave us, and Solgaleo moves on to the semi-finals to face Reshiram, and honestly, I like the sound of that matchup. I feel like Reshiram could well be the toughest opponent the Solgaleo's had to face so far. But Solgaleo has been kind of dominant this round, so who knows what it's going to do in the next round. All I know is I'm really excited for the semi-finals, which start next week. Of course, that's where I'm going to leave it for this episode of MetroMania, but of course, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button, and if you'd like to support this channel like these guys down here do, pledge to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/AceTrainerLiam, and until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.